baby. Oh, there you are. So it just seems like there's been a lot of old stuff clearing. And what I mean by that is it's like this opportunity like to release and be done with the old. And there's been a lot of hardship for a long time. And I just feel like there's this opportunity for us to start seeing things in a new light. And in order to do that, you need to let go of the things that no longer serve you. And I know that sounds easier than it is, but the more you focus on letting go, the more you focus on healing, the more you focus on the wounds and the hurt, the more that they become important. And so, and I really was thinking about this yesterday. I was going to make a video on healing and hurt and all that. And it just, for some reason, it just didn't, the message wasn't fluid for me. And so I didn't make the video because it just wasn't like, it just didn't flow together. And the reason why is because it felt like it was more like a mental breakdown of what I think healing should be, rather than a like guided something from above, something that flows through you. And so I just didn't make it because it just wasn't right. It didn't fit. And it was interesting because yesterday just felt like that all day. I just felt really off on some things. There were some things that I was going through that kind of like a decision or something that was kind of eating at me. And a lot of it was old stuff from, past things that I've been struggling with. So the reason why I didn't really post it, or I didn't even really make it, because it just wasn't flowing to me. And it kind of reminds me that, don't force things in life. And you can't force healing either. You can't force things to be fluid and flow, because they just are. They're not something that you can maneuver around or make happen. They are, fluid and flow is open. And it's, it can't be told what to do. Let's put it that way, because it just is. And so what's the difference between just is and forcing things? And even now you see in like a bigger picture, there's a lot of things that are trying to be forced upon us, control wise or whatnot. And it's not working as well, is it? The things that are trying to be forced upon us, people are awakening. And so people are like, no, that's not, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't that isn't sitting well with me. That doesn't go within my own psyche. It doesn't flow with me. It doesn't work with me. And people are, like I said, they're awakening, and people are realizing that what used to be true, although it worked for a long time, and I'm not discounting that, because it did work for a long time for a lot of people, but we're coming into a new age where things like that just don't work anymore. Forcing things and grinding, and trying to make things happen isn't the wave of the new future. And, while there are still people trying to do that, but it's not working as well as it used to. And there's reasons for that. And I really don't know all the reasons for that. I just know my perspective on it is that it's not working for me anymore. And so I find myself in a very new page, a new chapter, because even I was really good at making things happen. I was good at pushing. I was good at taking action, and I'm not saying that you don't need to do that in the new awakening. I'm just saying there's going to be more flow to it. There's going to be more of a vibration to it that feels like it's kind of funny because the words aren't coming to me today. but it's kind of this vibration where it feels like it's effortless. Like you don't have to do much work to make things happen. And again, make things happen isn't even the right term. It's more like, things are just going to become what they're supposed to be. So, it's just a very interesting take. And again, the things that I've realized that the old stuff that used to make me who I am. And I have no regret on any of the experiences I've had in my life. I really don't. Even the hardships, because they made me who I am today. And they also made me really aware of and very open to a higher source, to God. Because you get to a point where you're like, I can't control it. I can't control, especially the big stuff. I have no control over that. What I do have control over is my mindset, prayer, and believing and knowing and inner knowing. I do have, power over that. And that's what everybody has power over. And the more people that start doing that, the more people that start trusting that and trusting their own guided messages or symbols or whatever's coming to them, and really trusting that and believing that that is the right path for you going forward. That is the wave of the new. That's the higher frequency that a lot of people are talking about. The 3D, 4D, 5D. I don't really know a lot about that, but I do know that there is a different frequency that you're in when you're trusting, when you're in this knowing, this inner knowing that it is going to not only work out, but it already has worked. It's already there. It's like we are in a place where we finally need to be in the receiving mode. We've already planted the seed. It's already there. It's already ready to be picked. It's already ready to be harvested. We just need to be open to receiving it. And so it's, that is a very interesting perspective, because I'm also really good at making things happen and creating things. And, and being in creation mode doesn't mean that you're not in flow, but there's a different perspective to it when you're trying to make something happen, when you're trying to force it or control it. And so trying to force something or control something has a connotation to it that you're in shackles, that you don't have a choice. It has to be. And when you're in an open and receiving mode, that means you're open to any possibility that's in your best interest, that's in your favor, that's divinely set up for you in some way where you flow with it, and all these magical, amazing miracles start coming to you when you're trusting it. So yeah, and it's interesting because like I said yesterday, I was really struggling with some things, and I knew that it wasn't the right, to force a message out there wasn't right, because it didn't feel right to me. And so, trusting that is already a big thing for me to realize that, hey, this isn't right. Sometimes we need to sleep on it. Sometimes we just need to, kind of regurgitate it through our minds and realize and be open, because that's what I did last night. I literally just prayed and just put it out there to God and said, I know the best solution is there. I don't know what that is. I don't have the bandwidth right now to figure it out. And so I'm trusting that the higher selves of everybody that's involved will step into that and come up with a solution that works. And that's a specific situation, obviously, and that actually did happen. So, it's just interesting. And if you believe that, even people that you may in your life that you may have struggles with, that don't actually always align with how you see life, that doesn't mean that you can't somehow ask to, their higher selves to be involved. And what I mean by that is when you pray for a solution that takes more than one party or more than one person, you can ask for guides of theirs and your own guides to come together for a solution that is best for everybody involved. And I remember my mom telling me that one time, and my mom was very wise soul. So, and I didn't even really know if I understood it at the time when she was telling me that, but yeah. So anyway, I'm curious if you are noticing that all the things that used to be of control are kind of falling away, and you're seeing things differently. Like it's almost like the way that you used to handle things or figure things out are no longer part of how you are doing that. It's like there's this new wave, this new way of looking at things that's so much more, like I said, I don't know another word for it, but like in the flow, or just it feels more calm and peaceful, and it feels like there's this wave settling over you where there's like this knowing that this is right and this is not. And even the conversations around it are different. There's not this drama or like this frustration around it. There's more of a interesting perspective. Let's take a moment with that, and let's give it up to the higher source and let it all get worked out. And then when you have a conversation next time about that, it's like everybody that's in that conversation is in a different frequency. So not sure if you've realized that in your own, your own reality. Curious if you have. I'm curious if any of this resonates with you. And please give us a like button and share this video if you feel like this can help somebody in your life, because there's definitely this awakening going on. And awakening can mean so many things to so many people, but I do feel like people are waking up in their own lives and realizing, yeah, that's not going to work anymore for me. I'm going to be in this new life and choose how I want to feel and how I want to be. And if people don't fit into that, then you let that go. And interestingly enough, you don't have to force that either, because you can just subconsciously let it go. You can actually just decide, okay, that doesn't work for me anymore. And somehow God will create a new reality that lets that go for you. You don't have to do it. It just will happen over time, because you're choosing this new path that works better for you and your life. And that's what matters. You can't make a difference to other people around you if you're not in your best life. And I'm not saying, a lot of people have gone through some massive struggle in order to get to that point. But maybe it's time to be done with the struggle. Maybe it's time to just state it. I'm done. I'm done with the struggle. I'm over it. It no longer works for me. It no longer needs to be in my life, because I've learned what I need to learn from it. And now it's time for me to revel in life and be in the joy of life. It's just time. And it's okay to state that and have an intention that, going forward, forward thinking. I'm no longer going to reside in this old stuff. I'm now going to think about what I do want in life, how I do want my, future to look, and be in that and feel it and enjoy it and realize that that's where you're going, because the old stuff isn't working anymore. It doesn't belong in your life anymore. And that's clear. That's very clear for so many people. So now we're in this place where, okay, do we want to continue sitting in that healing and in the wounds and the hurt? And, do we want to continue feeling all of that? Or do we want to actually be in joy and be in a passion of life and enjoy your surroundings and the people that are in your life that you want to be there? And maybe there's new people that come into your life that are, open up your life even more. I mean, just there's so many possibilities that are in the future. And it's time for us to start claiming that. It's time for us to start claiming a life that we deserve to have. So, there it is. Message for today. I just want to remind you that you matter. You are rocking it in this awakening. You are amazing. And, it's time to claim it. It's time to have an intention of, this is what I'm going to be looking forward to. And I'm going to reside in this energy from now on going forward. This is my new vibration. This is where I stand now. And all that old stuff is like, now I've created this bubble around me where all that old stuff can no longer penetrate that bubble. It just can't, because I choose that. It's a choice that I'm making here going forward. So, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I hope you have an amazing day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.